Every single year, football clubs from around the world release brand new kits for the new season. So I thought it was a good idea to pick out the best new kit from 24 different leagues. And there are some incredible designs this year. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to recommend that you subscribe to the channel because it's completely free and you can always unsubscribe later. But with that being said, let's get started with the first league. I'm going to kick things off with the Premier League. My pick is Arsenal's third kit. It's got this really nice faded light blue and purple wavy design, and I think those colours are blended together really well here. It's got a nice retro Adidas badge in a dark blue colour, and that fits in really well with the rest of the shirt. It also features the Arsenal cannon logo, which I think looks better than the normal Arsenal badge. I think this is the best of the new Adidas third kits, and it had to be my pick for the Premier League. Now let's move on to La Liga. I've gone for Valencia's new home kit. It's got a white base with black sleeves and really nice gold logos. I think the colours they've used here work perfectly together, particularly with the Valencia badge, which is black and gold here. Overall, it's just a really clean Valencia kit. Next up, Serie A. I've gone for the Juventus third kit. It's dark blue with a nice pattern and gold logos. It's also got the Juventus zebra in gold instead of the actual badge, and I think this looks really cool. It's not the kind of thing you'd imagine a football kit to look like, but this is still a really nice shirt. Now let's move on to the Bundesliga, and I've chosen FC Augsburg's new kit. It's red and gold, which is a really nice colour combination, but it's also got some Roman patterning going on. You see, Augsburg was founded while under the reign of the Roman Empire. It actually got its name from Emperor Augustus. So this beautiful detailed Roman pattern actually has a link to the city. And because of that, this is the best shirt in Germany this season. Next up, Ligue 1 of France. I've chosen PSG's away kit because it has the Eiffel Tower in red and blue, sort of painted on there. Also red and blue on the cuffs, which I really like. I'm not sure how you can make a better PSG away kit. It uses the club's colours and references Paris's most iconic landmark, all while looking really good. Now moving on to the Dutch Eredivisie, I've gone for NEC Nijmegen. I really like the colours here. The dark red and the creamy sort of colour work well together, and that pattern is really interesting. It links to the culture of the city while looking absolutely amazing, and that's why it's the best shirt from the Netherlands this year. Next up is the Belgian Pro League, and I've gone for Anderlecht. I really like purple shirts because they're not seen often in football, so it makes the kit feel a bit more unique. Now this purple shirt is special. First of all, it's got this really nice decorative pattern on the sleeves, and I think the shades of purple they've used here work really well. I particularly like the lighter purple colour that they've used on the collar, cuffs and logos. Honestly, if Napoleon hadn't come along with his casino, this would be an absolute classic. Next up, the Brazilian League. I've gone for the Corinthians fourth kit. Now this was released in 2023, but Brazil and other South American countries do their leagues in a slightly different way. So this is still their kit of this current season, and it's a fantastic shirt. I really like the cream colour and the black. This kit was actually designed by a fan, and it's really popular with other Corinthians fans. That's why it had to be my pick for Brazil. Now let's take a look at my pick for Argentina, and it is wild. This shirt's got footballs on it, football players on it, lions on it. There's a really chaotic scene going on here, and every time I look at it, I notice something new. And while it's not the kind of kit I would wear, it's incredible that a team's actually designed this and is going to wear it on the pitch. So for being such a bold and creative kit, the Talleres third shirt had to be my pick for Argentina. Now it's time for the MLS. Most teams are still using kits from last season, but a few new ones have been released. My favourite of those is the Portland Timbers away kit. It's got these detailed green leaves coming in from all angles, and the shade of green they've used here is just perfect. It works so well with that sort of cream coloured base. I really like the Portland Timbers logo just in the middle on its own, and this kit looks really good sponsorless. Next up is the Indian Super League, and I've gone for FC Goa's third kit. I really like that dark red and yellowy gold colour combination, and that swirly checkered design looks great as well. I think this shirt looks a little bit like the Ipswich away kit from this season, but because of that lovely sort of sandy colour, I think this one is even better, and it's definitely the best kit in the Indian Super League. Now what about the Indonesian League? I've picked the Arema away kit. It's a white shirt with some thin black and gold lines going down the front. There's also gold on the collar and cuffs. I really like how the collar is done here. I also really like those simple gold logos. They don't have any text, they're just symbols, and they look really good. So for me, this is the best kit in Indonesia this year. And now for Liga MX of Mexico. I've chosen Club America's away kit. It uses the Club America badge in many different shades of blue to create a map of the Americas. It also uses retro Club America badges from the past, which I think is a really nice touch. I think this is a very interesting idea for a football shirt, and it does a really good job of representing the club. And next up is the Turkish Super League. I've chosen Trabzonspor's away kit. It's bright blue with a nice paint effect and some white and dark red. I really like that shade of blue and the way that paint effect works, and that's why this is Turkey's best kit. Now let's move on to Japan. The best new J-League kit this season is from Yokohama F. Marinos. It's their new away kit. It's blue with lots of sponsors which do let it down a bit, but it's made up for by the beautiful collar and cuffs. That blue and red design within the white looks absolutely fantastic. I really want more kits to experiment with the collar and cuffs because they turned this kit from an average one to a really special one. Next up, Australia. I've gone for the new Adelaide kit. It uses this beautiful dark red colour with even darker patterning going through it. I'm a big fan of Adelaide shirts. I actually own one myself, and this is another really good one. It's also sponsored by McDonald's. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but it's only on the sleeve, so it's fine. Still a really nice shirt, and it's the best one in Australia. Now, next up is Croatia, and before I show you my actual pick, I need to show you these two shirts. They're from a club called HNS Rijeka, and they are absolutely crazy. One of them's got these black fish swimming towards the sponsor, and the other one's got these big yellow and blue and black blobs all over the place. I think they're supposed to have some sort of link to like marine life. You can sort of see the outline of a shark on the one on the right hand side, and there's obviously fish on the one on the left. But to me, both of these kits just look hilarious. They are some really wacky designs, but my actual pick is Hajduk Split. I think this is their home kit, and it's white with a red sponsor and silver logos and 3 stripes. This is a nice, clean and classy home shirt, and that's why I've picked it as Croatia's best. Next up, Greece. Athens Kalathea is the team I've picked here, and their home and away kits are just as good as each other. One of them's blue, one of them's white with some dark blue, but they're basically the same design. There are lots of pinstripes in the same colour as the base, which make it look a bit retro. I also like how the badge is just a symbol, it doesn't have any writing on it, and both kits have got nice retro colours. These two kits are like nothing else we've seen this season, and they do a really good job at looking like old classics. Next up, Switzerland. I've chosen the FC Basel third kit. It's dark green with some black on the outside, and this lovely dragon design. There's lots of little dragons going up with some darker green pinstripes. This is a very bold kit design, but I think it actually works well as a football shirt. And I can't really think of a previous kit that's looked anything like this. To me, it looks like some kind of old wallpaper. It's a really interesting design, and I don't know why the sponsor's so low down, but it doesn't really matter because this is still great. Next up is the Moroccan League, and I've gone for Wydad FC. This simple red and white kit aims to recreate kits of the 60s and 70s, and it's mastered the idea of clean, minimalist simplicity. Those stripes are perfectly sized, and the way the red and white is placed, like on the sleeve cuffs for example, makes it look like a classic kit. It also only uses red and white, and those colours work really well together. Now the next league we're going to look at is the Egyptian League. I've picked out a kit from Ghazi El Mahala SC. It's got this nice shade of blue that you might recognise from Uruguay kits. It also features some really cool Egyptian patterning, and I really like how the badge is the same colour as the base because it helps it to blend in with the rest of the shirt. Next up is the Portuguese League, and I've gone for Morien's home kit. It's a green and white checkered shirt, but the green checkers aren't quite complete. This makes it way more interesting and helps to mix up what would have been a boring green and white home shirt. I particularly like the white stripes within the checkers on the right hand side, and overall this kit just looks really good. Definitely the best in Portugal this year. Now it's time to move on to the penultimate league of the video, the Scottish Premier League. I originally chose this Motherwell home kit because I think it looks really nice. The good thing about this kit is that it manages to look clean while still doing something a bit different. Then I found this Dundee goalkeeper shirt. Look at it, it's like white and pink with lots of like cool stuff going on. Definitely the best kit in Scotland. And last but not least, I've picked a team from the Irish Premier League. I've gone for the kits from Galway FC. The home and away kit look just as good as each other. I quite like the sponsor, it just looks like a piano that's been tilted sideways. And they use these dark red and creamy colours that I really like. The Irish patterning there also looks really good, so these two kits are my favourites from Ireland. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And remember, the worst case scenario is that you just unsubscribe later, so you might as well subscribe. Anyway, with that being said, thanks again for watching, and I will see you later. Also, I've just realised this is the first full video I've uploaded in 38 days. So I definitely took a long break, but I'm back now. So expect lots more epic football shirt, football, and possibly some Southampton FC content, and make sure you subscribe.